Welcome to Wisdom Mind YouTube channel. Many people would like to know, is Buddha a god? I must answer is no. Buddha, also known as Siddhartha Gautama, was not a god in the traditional sense. He was a human being who lived in ancient India and became the central figure of Buddhism. Buddha's teachings formed the foundation of the Buddhist religion and philosophy. According to Buddhist beliefs, Siddhartha Gautama achieved enlightenment and became the Buddha, which means the awakened one or the enlightened one. He attained this state of enlightenment after years of meditation and spiritual practice, and he gained profound insights into the nature of existence, suffering, and the path to liberation. In Buddhism, Buddha is highly revered and considered an exceptional teacher and guide who discovered the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, which serve as the core principles for the spiritual path to end suffering and attain enlightenment. Unlike in some other religions, Buddha is not worshipped as a deity in Buddhism. Instead, Buddhists show deep respect and devotion to him as a teacher and a source of inspiration, striving to follow his teachings to lead a virtuous and compassionate life. The focus in Buddhism is on understanding and embodying the Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha, rather than worshipping him as a god. Of course, Buddhism is a vast and profound philosophical and spiritual tradition with a rich history. Here are some key points to help you understand more about Buddhism. Four Noble Truths. These are the foundational teachings of Buddhism. They are dukkha, suffering. Life is inherently unsatisfactory and involves suffering in various forms. Samudaya, cause of suffering. The origin of suffering is attachment, desire, and ignorance. Nirodha, cessation of suffering. There is a way to end suffering by letting go of attachments and desires. Magga, path to the cessation of suffering. The Eightfold Path is the way to achieve liberation from suffering. Eightfold Path. This is the path that leads to the cessation of suffering and the achievement of enlightenment. It consists of 8 interconnected factors that guide practitioners toward ethical and mental development. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, rebirth, and karma. Buddhism teaches the concept of rebirth or reincarnation. The cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara, is believed to be governed by the law of karma. Karma refers to the law of cause and effect, where one's actions and intentions have consequences in this life and future lives. Nirvana, the ultimate goal of Buddhism, is to attain nirvana, which is the state of liberation from the cycle of birth and death. It is a state of perfect peace, freedom, and enlightenment. Nirvana is often described as the cessation of suffering and the end of all desires and attachments. 3 jewels of Buddhism. Buddhists take refuge in the 3 jewels, which are the Buddha, the Dharma, the teachings, and the Sangha, the community of practitioners. Taking refuge is a formal ceremony where individuals commit to following the Buddhist path. Buddhist practices. Buddhism encompasses various practices, including meditation, mindfulness, ethical living, and study of Buddhist scriptures. Meditation is a key tool for developing mental clarity and insight. Buddhist schools. Over the centuries, Buddhism has developed into various schools and traditions. The 2 major branches are Theravada and Mahayana. Theravada Buddhism is prevalent in South and Southeast Asia, while Mahayana Buddhism is more widespread in East Asia. Iconography, Buddha statues, and other symbolic representations are common in Buddhist temples and homes. These are not objects of worship, but serve as reminders of the teachings and the path to enlightenment. Remember that Buddhism is diverse, and its practices and interpretations may vary across different cultures and regions. If you're interested in exploring Buddhism further, you may want to read some of the primary Buddhist texts, visit Buddhist temples or centers, or seek guidance from experienced practitioners or teachers. Thank you for your watching.